not saying that. This is me. Everyone I talked to was very diplomatic.
Right.
I mean, some of them, feel have empathy for what they see as your condition.
Right.
But so you did. It was some swinging dick shit with that stuff. You had some lessons to teach.
Yeah, man. I mean, it still happens sometimes. You know
what
I mean?
When you feel it happening, you're like, fuck that guy. I'm going to go down there and do an hour to an hour and a half in front of him to show him who's boss.
Bro, listen. When you watch that tape, and I don't know how many. I've never seen it. I mean, the Rogan thing. That's
this is beyond that.
But here's the deal.
Yeah.
When you watch that, or when they interviewed a bunch of comics at the Comedy Store, and comics that I've never even taken anything from, supposedly, are like, oh yeah, he takes shit.
Right. No,
so
I get that.
When a guy like that, when I'm on stage, excuse me, at the Comedy Store, and I look straight ahead, and there's that little doorway that leads downstairs to the hall.
Yeah.
And I see one of those guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's on the list after me. Fuck him. Fuck him. Because I've tried to be nice to these guys. You know what I mean? I've walked up to Ari and been like, Ari, well, fuck you. Okay. You know what I mean? All right.
Okay. All right.
So when that happens and those guys are there, yeah. But part of me wants to be cool and be like, you know what? Let me be a nice guy. That shit don't work though.
Yeah, because you're too angry.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't help the situation.
But do you think that bumping them and doing an hour helps?
No, but it doesn't. It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt. It makes you more of an asshole.
Maybe, but it doesn't hurt. It doesn't stop them from talking shit. It doesn't stop them from.
Well, no one's going to stop talking shit because.
Okay, so there. If nobody's going to stop talking shit, right?
Yeah.
No matter what I do, they're not going to stop talking shit.
I don't know if that's true though. I don't know if it's no matter what you do. Because, quite honestly, when I talked to Steve, you guys were friends. He has empathy. He has his beefs. He said you bumped him down in Anaheim and did 2 hours on the first time he headlined.
Bro, let me tell you about Steve.
Did you go to the Ontario Improv when he was
headlining?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. No, I swear to God, I don't. Because I would tell you if I did.
But it's possible. It's possible.
It's possible that I did it. It's not possible that I did 2 hours. That I wouldn't do. No way would I do 2 hours.
Maybe an hour.
Headliner.
Yes.
You know what?
You did 50 minutes in front of me. I know it. And
but that's different because it's the improv like here. It's not 1, 2, 3 improv.
All right. We've established the fact that sometimes if you feel it in your balls to go up and bump a headliner to show him who's boss, you'll do that.
To get even, you know what? But the way you put it, I sound like a dick. But you know what? It's a dick move. But it is.
It's all about dick.
It is.
Okay.
It truly is.
All right. Moving on.
It's like the only place. It's the only fucking place, man, that I can get back at this shit. That I can fucking find balance with it. You know what I mean? It's the only place.
But it doesn't do anything to stop it.
I've done listen. I've gone to the improv many times and not done 45 minutes.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is that. What it does is there's part of it in my mind, if I'm going to look at it as a mythic battle.
Sure.
Wherever your career is or however everyone's thinking about you, you're going to go in and say, fuck you, I'm still here. Eat that shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on. Freddie Soto.
Freddie was another opener of mine.
Okay. But Freddie, passed away, prematurely, had a heart attack, however it was. And there are people that say that you caused him a lot of stress by doing his material on stage, and more than that a week after he died, you went on stage with his jokes.
That's not true, man. I mean, listen, that's the saddest thing ever. I met Freddie out of love, man.
No, I know.
Freddie.
Well, look, the one thing I'm learning about you is everybody loves you. You loved you. You had good friends, but at some point it turned. And at some point, people started to distrust you. They started to accuse you of stealing their shit. They started being afraid to perform in front of you. I don't know when that happened, but
I don't either.
It just comes down to, if I'm talking to you as a peer, that, you're concerned about, your reputation. And what I'm saying is that, if people are saying that, a manager at the Improv wanted to shut the mics off a week after Freddie is dead, because you're doing his shit.
That's, first of all, I don't even remember performing like at that time. At that time when he passed away, we could actually probably look at my schedule. I guarantee you that I wasn't even in town at the time.
Is there a chance? Let me just ask something. Is there a chance? Because look, I've talked to people about stealing before. I've talked to people, and I am empathetic, Yeah, I'm not attacking you.
I understand.
Is there a chance that you absorb this shit and you don't know that you're doing similar things or doing people's bits? Is there a chance?
With openers, no. With headliners, possibly. But with openers, no, because what happens with guys like, I won't even name names.
Okay, you've denied the
with young guys.
Yeah.
Most of the time when they do a bit,
yeah,
I'm like, I did that like 15 years ago. I did the bit about the Cougars 15 years ago. So sometimes these guys have never seen that bit that I did in 1992 about, having sex with a 40-year-old woman.
Well, it could be the same with you in the Cosby thing. That, you were a kid, you might have seen that.
Dude, I wish I could tell you right now. Like, I swear to God, I wish I could say, look, you know what, man? I've been an asshole, and I want to change, and I'm different than that guy that I was before, and I'm not afraid. And you know what? I might have taken some people's shit, and to those people, I apologize. Because I know that everybody would be like, well, fuck, okay, good. Like, I know how people work. I know that they would...
You know it too well, I think.
That's what I'm saying. I know that they would say that, and I want to say that.
Okay.
Like, I fucking do.
But
I don't watch other people to take their shit.
But so you qualified that by saying headliners maybe headliners.
Yeah, maybe I absorbed something from watching a headline that made me go, oh fuck, you know what I mean?
Because I know what happens with some people's brains. Like, I talked to Robin Williams about this.
Sure.
And we talked to it. I talked to him specifically about it.
Right.
Sometimes people just got sponge brains, and their brains are working really quick. So you all of a sudden you see a bit that you think is funny, and then you add a couple tags to it in your head, and a few days later you don't remember that you saw the bit. You just remember what you added to it, and it's your bit.
Well, that I've consciously done what I have done is, like, let's say I saw Paul Mooney do a joke about how black people do this. And I went, oh, fuck. Mexicans, blah, 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 and like found that angle in that one joke.
I get it.
That I've consciously done.
That's just derivative. That's not,
right.
Right. There's a difference.
In that sense, and I am a sponge, so to speak. I do remember, like, I don't write stuff down. Like, I don't actually have written stuff. I record it so that I can remember it. But I'm also aware of jokes that I do that I go, oh, I don't know anybody specifically as much as I know that this
is out there.
Is not like right now, there's this bit that I do about the president and, how he's our first half white president. That's the whole premise of it. That he's not like, ghetto black. That's the whole thing. But
that's a stock premise at this point.
But see, that's the stuff that I get,
No, I know, because
there's
like some of the guys said, like, if Carlos would just, do his shit, he knows how to do shit, that, it seems that a lot of this stuff is hung up on shit that anybody could do.
Right.
They can't necessarily do it like you, but a lot of this discussion is about shit that is just fucking topical comment. I don't even know why I'm getting angry in this conversation. Just that.
Well, you know what? I learned something from being here last time. The one was George. You know what I mean? And I forgot to tell you until I thought about it, because you said something that made me think about it, and later I went, oh fuck. When I went up to George and said, I didn't take your shit, George accepted that. George was like, okay, but you should stop doing it anyway, because I've been doing it longer than you, out of respect. And you know what? Today, I would do that. Back then, when I wanted to prove to myself and the world that I was funny, I took that as an affront.
Sure.
And
I think
that's one I wish I could have back.
I think there's a little Latino macho thing going on between you and George,
but I like George.
No,
I like George's stuff. I like all these guys' stuff.
But you guys compete. We all compete, but it just seems like, the competition element of trying to be a success has driven you to perhaps involuntarily absorb other people's material and fuck people off.
Fuck people off, yeah. Piss them off, yeah. Do dick shit, yeah. Absorb their shit on purpose.
I didn't say on purpose. Involuntarily.
Or even involuntarily. I mean, look, it's been going on for way too long for me to be naive about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At this point, I would say to you,